Hi, everyone. We are live. We're live. Okay. Super excited about day 2 BOGOs in the US. If you buy an Adaptiv Touch right here, you can see it down here in the light, you get for free a limited edition Kumquat 5 ml. This is not one you can purchase normally. So I'm very excited about this too combo, especially for your emotional health. So let's dive in. Like I said yesterday, Europe has a different way of doing BOGOs. You can get everything the whole week. There are oils per day, but it is available the entire week. In the US, there's this amazing surprise element every day. So let's start with Adaptiv Touch. This was launched a couple of years ago, and Adaptiv was, as the name says, adaptive. It's formulated for you to be able to adapt. There are a lot of different oils in Adaptiv. It's a proprietary blend. And in the blend is wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, neroli, and sweet gum. So the blend itself is very calming as well as uplifting. So it's not necessarily all sedative, but it will allow you to have a response to outside stressors. So this is one that you want to use in times where everything around you is challenging you, or before a big presentation, or before a big work day. Anything that requires you to be able to stay calm and centered, it's formulated for this. It is also, we have a lot of studies. There's clinical trials done. You can read on it, about it on PubMed. There's a lot of white papers. And PubMed.gov will show you the different clinical trials that were done because it works with your GABA receptors. So GABA receptors, if they're overactive, it causes feelings of anxiety. And this one, when you apply it to pulse points, it is an awesome rollerball. You will address those overactive receptors. So some of the pulse points that I love for this one, you can use it as a personal perfume as well, is on your wrist. It could be in your elbow crease, right by the ear, and behind on the neck. These are my favorites. You can use it directly on the heart if you're feeling anxious. It's beautiful for children under the feet at night. It's really, really calming. Or if they're nervous about first day of school or anything that's going on, they have a big test, your kids, put it up and down the spine, under their feet. It's really, really beautiful. And if you have it on your wrist, the trick is you can smell it all day long. And as we know, when we smell something, it affects our olfactory nervous system, which then signals the whole body and supports us in a calming response. So the emotional usage, pardon me, my phone is ringing here. The emotional usage, like I touched upon, is really the ability to adapt. The Adaptiv was, as I said, was formulated to assist in anxious states. Let's take that a little bit deeper, because often what causes this feeling of anxiousness underlying is a feeling that we're alone and a feeling that we've got to deal with everything, and maybe even to an extent that other people don't expect, but we expect it from ourselves. So this oil is really about teaching an individual that the cycles of construction, like tension, worry, solitude, uneasiness, all of this, it doesn't serve us, but reassuring us and staying calm rather than going to those feelings of worry. So if an individual has experienced an extensive, long period of stress, what happens is that the body's ability to respond to stress becomes hypervigilant. So that's like if you've been in fight or flight or freeze for too long, but especially fight or flight, when you're in constant activation, you're no longer able to use the fight or flight when it's necessary, because that's going to be the response, even to small things that don't necessarily need that response. It's just that we've been activated for so long that that's the only thing the body knows. But that is almost like it creates inflammation in your nervous system. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like if you have a cut on a muscle, or not a cut, but like a cut on the skin, it gets red, there's a lot of swelling, it's blood, the body's doing what it needs to do, it gets inflamed, it repairs, and then it goes back to normal. Well, imagine if you have that cut and it's constant, and you're like this for too long with the red and the swelling and the too much blood, the body doesn't understand. And the same happens to our nerves. And Adaptiv allows us to get a break and to calm and to step away and to look at what's going on so we can come with a better response. So it's really allowing us that breath in between to come with a really calm response. It also offers us the ability and invites us to the deeper meaning behind these emotional manifestations, and what it allows us to really step in and say, what part of me needs to be heard, what's not been listened to for so long, that it gives it space to come up. And especially the lavender is that oil of communication. It really allows us to be expressive and understood as well. And it's just such a great synergy of oils. It's unreal, right? Because it really works together as a wholesome oil. So it allows us to recognize the parts that need to be given a voice. And it also allows us to take a look at, why didn't I feel safe before? What was it that was causing me to be in a constant stress response? And what part of my body needs to have some attention? Where did I maybe not pay attention for a while? It also teaches us that self-judgment and that inner critic, it's really, it's not serving us anymore, right? Because the only thing that inner judgment does is inflicting more trauma on a soul that's already weighed down. So we get to give ourselves compassion, be in self-acceptance with this oil. It really is that bridge to allow kindness to come into our lives, and so much self-acceptance. It also conveys very gently. It's not a hard oil, right? There's some oils where you use them for a couple of days and you're like, whew, there's a huge shift. Adaptiv is a gentle oil, because if you're already in a state of anxiety or nervousness or not feeling at rest and at peace, the last thing you want to do is jolt yourself into something else. So with the Adaptiv, it's a very kind and soft way of bringing us the truth that most of life's magic is really beyond our ability to control. And it's when we're really lying in the divine comfort that we are not alone, and that there's always a universe, a God that's got us, that's holding us, even if we've lost faith in that. This oil helps us to begin having the faith again, that we are supported all the time, 100% of the time, and everything happens for us, not to us. So this oil, honestly, especially when it's in the roller, this, I tell everyone, men and women, keep it in your bag at all times. With what's going on in the world right now, you definitely just want to keep that oil on you. It's incredible. So those are both the physical and the emotional uses for it. Those are very overlapped. And then with today's BOGO, you're going to get a 5 ml kumquat for free. Like I said, you cannot purchase kumquat. So this is an incredible oil because it's very high in monoterpenes like limonene. So it's very boosting for your immune system. It's an incredible immune support. If you drink 1 to 3 drops in water, you can also apply it under the bottoms of the feet. You can support your metabolism by drinking 1 to 3 drops. Even in the diffuser, you can actually support your metabolism. It's a mood boost because it is a citrus oil. So you could take a drop directly in your hands, and it's an energy boost as well. So if you like a smoothie and you want a spice of a little bit of citrus in there, you could do a couple of drops and it's really going to give you a good energetic boost. You could use it to clean with, but honestly, this is such a rare oil. I would not clean my house with kumquat, although you could. It's a tonic. It's very cleansing. It's great for anything that really needs an astringent, right? Super good for cardiovascular health. So you want to do 1 to 2 drops directly on reflex points. If you want it to last a little bit longer, do a 5 ml roller bottle, put 10 to 15 drops, top it off with fractionated coconut oil, and then use it for cardiovascular health. And nervous system, super good under the feet. It'll support the entire body in the nervous system. You could use it as a boost to your already fluoride-free toothpaste. So if you're not already using On Guard toothpaste, use that one because it's the Protective Blend On Guard mixed with it's incredible. It's a mineralizing toothpaste. But if you have another fluoride-free toothpaste, you can add 1 drop of kumquat, and it's really cleansing and an extra power to your toothbrush. And then we have an awesome diffuser blend, which is called Sunny Forest. I love it. You do 3 drops of kumquat, 2 drops cedarwood, 2 drops Douglas fir, and 2 drops lime. And that one is one you're going to want to put in a larger diffuser. You don't want to put it in like the small, tiny room, because you do have 7 drops total. Actually 9 drops total. So this is one you want to put in like a living room or something where you've got like some good flow. And it just brings you right back to the mountains on a bright day. It is a beautiful, beautiful, just refresh your spirits, right? That is the physical aspects of kumquat. Now, the emotional, which I really, really love because we don't get to talk about this one as much, is about authentic presence. And unique to kumquat is the fruit, the citrus part. The sweetness is in the peel, and inside it's completely different. So all the sweetness is in the little peel. And this oil, when we're looking at human beings, it really addresses people that feel the need to always appear polished, happy, joyful, cheerful, and then they're dealing with all the stresses on the inside and not letting anyone see them. So imagine how these two are working amazing together. This one will address this need to seem like everything is okay, but this one gently will actually allow you to move through that in a self-loving and accepting way. In addition to that, this really, the kumquat oil will support you in no longer repressing feelings, pushing them down, anything that's taught not to be seen, not to be heard, anything that's not a good behavior, all of that stuff that's been pushed down can gently come to the surface. And also really avoiding, because when a person has these suppressed feelings for a long time, the negative suppressed feelings, we come out with coping mechanisms that can show up as passive aggressiveness. It can show up as just really conflict. And we want to live in unison. We want to bring the center. We want to bring the whole together with the light flowing, right? Because when we have one thing outer and another thing inner, there's a disconnect. And that over time will cause our nervous system to really be burdened. We want to really understand that true happiness only comes from real, honest, and fully trusting living. And so both the good and the bad, right? We want to understand that people are sweet and sour. We all are. We have to have duality. You can't experience the light without the dark. And this oil is bridging that for us. It's that sweet peel with all this pungent inside, and we're bringing that into acceptance, if that makes sense. So like the fruit. Also, instead of being quiet and consistent and unseen, we're really teaching us that the real journey is in inner alignment, contentment, and healing. So it's not so much to show an appearance of I've got it all together. That's not healing. Healing is the inner alignment, like I was saying, with the light from the top to the bottom. So I've been talking a lot today because it's all the emotional aspects. I love it. I hope you learned something new. Play around with kumquat. It's an awesome, awesome oil. And I'm excited to hear who of you got today's BOGO, because this will definitely be an awesome one to stock up on. It's a great one for your collection. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.